Let's create a character for Sword World 2.5. There are 3 ways to create a character. You can use Easy Creation, where you just select one of the pre-generated characters, write their backstory and name, and you are good to go. You can use Detailed Creation, where you go over each detail of the character, like race, classes, and items. And lastly, you can use the Character Building Book, which has a unique process of in-depth character creation in which most of the choices, like classes and combat feats, will be tied to your backstory. For this video, we will be using Detailed Creation from Core Rulebook 1. First, we will need a blank character sheet. I will be using this Google Sheet with automatic calculations. We start with a selection of race and background. The core rulebooks have 12 races total, but for simplicity's sake, we will be sticking to the most basic race, humans. They can be good at anything. Each race provides unique racial abilities. Humans get Sort's Grace, Change Fate. It allows flipping the dice once per day. If you are not using physical dice, for example when playing on a VTT, this is equal to 14 minus the roll's result. Next is the background. It provides the character with a pre-selected class at first level, skill, body, and mind scores, and remaining experience points that can be used to pick other classes later. For this character, we will be picking the Mercenary background, which provides first level fighter, 7 skill, 10 body, and 4 mind. As you can see, they are used in calculation of 6 main ability scores. Speaking of which, the next step is to determine those ability scores. For that, we will need to look at what dice we need to roll for corrections of the different ability scores. Corrections differ depending on the race we chose before. They are noted as A through F. Each race has their own set of dice to be rolled for each of them. Humans, for example, roll 2d6 for each correction score. Suppose we rolled 11, 6, 7, 4, 9, and 6. Starting ability scores are calculated using skill, body, and mind as well as the corrections we just rolled. Growth is used for character progression later in the game, so we don't have to worry about those for now. Your ability modifiers are calculated by dividing the corresponding ability score by 6, rounding down. With this, we got all our ability scores done. The next step is to pick classes. As we discussed in our video on classes, we need to spend XP to acquire levels in various classes. XP needed depends on the type of class and level we want to acquire. For our character, we will level up Fighter more to give them better accuracy and evasion. We will also pick up first level Scout, allowing us to disable traps, track, and act first in combat. Additionally, we'll be picking up first level Ranger to increase the effectiveness of consumables that restore HP or MP, as well as to gain access to some skills that Scouts are missing. As you can see, with an increased Fighter level, our Adventure level, which is the maximum of all of our classes, is also increased to 2. The next step is to pick languages. As humans, we gain the ability to read and talk in Trade Common, as well as a regional dialect. Let's say our character can speak the Burlite regional dialect. The next step is to acquire combat feat. For our human fighter, we will pick up Power Strike. This combat feat allows us to increase damage of 1 attack in exchange for lowered evasion for 1 round. As you can see, the sheet already calculated many of the values based on our classes and ability scores. See Core Rulebook 1 for more details on how to calculate them manually. Don't worry, it is all quite simple. The next step is purchasing equipment. Per the rules, we have 1200 gamels to acquire equipment. Our warrior will need a weapon. As we have a strength score of 17, we will pick up a bastard sword. It requires a strength score of 17, so it fits just right. Let's fill in its parameters. For armor, we will pick up hard leather. It provides decent defense for an affordable price. We could have picked a metal armor, which usually provide more defense, however there are still some other supplies we need. The Adventurer set comes with a lot of useful items that can come in handy on any adventure, so it is advised for any character to get one of these. We will also need Scout's tools to use the Scout class effectively. Life Grass will allow us to heal ourselves or our allies after combat. And since its effectiveness is increased because of the Ranger class, it's a good idea to pick a couple of those up. Also, we need to write down how many gamels we have left. 40G isn't a lot, but it makes for good pocket change once the game begins. The last step is to write a backstory for the character and select a name. The core rulebooks got the history tables for that. Let's roll D6 3 times. The first roll was 1, the second 2, and the third was 5, so let's use table A twice and table C once. Rolling 2d6 for our first history, we got 5 and 4. You don't know where you are from. The roll for the second history comes up as 1 and 6. You admire certain adventurers. Now for the third history, we check table C. We got 3 and 5 on that roll. You have an item you can't be parted from. We can also use the Why I Went on the Adventure table to add more details. We got 4 and 5, a friend recommended. You can interpret these histories to make a single backstory for the character. For example, for this character, we can write, I was found as a baby by Mark, a dwarf adventurer, near the ruins. He trained me and taught me most of what I know. Near where he found me, he also discovered a strange symbol with a coiled serpent. I have carried this symbol with me since I was but a child. I have often tried to learn more about where I'm from and this symbol, but to no avail. To aid me in my search, Mark recommended that I become an adventurer, both to see the world and maybe meet people who may help me in my search. And with that, our character is complete. Feel free to check our subreddit or Discord server for more info about the system. Links are in the description below. Thanks for watching. The Sword World Translation Project is a fan-based, non-profit translation. Sword World is owned by Group SNE and Kadokawa. Please support the official release. All the Sword World books can be found on Bookwalker, links in the description below.